Greetings, gracious literary beings. My name is Rose Goldthorpe, and I am one of the writers and producers of this audio drama. I would like to welcome you to the 4th episode and the 4th season of the Wessex dramas called The Well-Beloved. This is the first season in our seaside trilogy of Hardy novels, a romance set on the island of Portland, or as Hardy like to call it, the Isle of Slingers. I know in some of my other episodes I may or may not have got the season number wrong, but we're all going to pretend I didn't. We're still going on in production with our anthology feature film. We are currently in the middle of filming simultaneously both the first and second of the 4 shorts, and I may or may not be slightly going bald, but that is an unrelated topic. It has been great fun working with you all, and frankly, it is a great way to spend your weekend. I am currently releasing a mini documentary on YouTube about the making of the last year's film, as well as the director's cut of the 4 shorts separately. Again, this may take a while, because I have too many projects happening all at the same time, but just keep an eye out on our Rose Goldthorpe Films YouTube if you want to see the shenanigans that we got up to last year. So anyway, have you heard that Netherfield is let at last? Wait, no, wrong novel. Okay, to Portland, children.
The art gallery. It's daytime. Avis is dressed in respectable black, and Jocelyn is his usual urbane, slightly bohemian self. They are standing looking at a painting.
Why'd you ask me here, sir?
No, sir. Or Mr. Pierston.
Mrs. Careful would have a fit if I called you, Jocelyn.
Then just call me Jocelyn when we are alone. All right?
Yes, sir. Jocelyn. So why did you, huh?
He takes her arm and draws her over to another painting. He indicates the sky therein.
I wanted to show you what I mean by the light in paintings. Have you been to an art gallery before?
Avis shrugs and looks around at the other 3 people there.
There ain't one in Slingers, nor yet in Budmouth. So, Jocelyn?
None in Wessex, I think. Well, not for the public.
He takes her arm again.
Come on, let's find a tea house. How about the Ritz?
What bits?
It's a church porch, and it's daytime. Summers emerges in his bridal finery, together with the overdone confection that is his new middle-aged wife, Mrs. Summers. There are around 20-odd people there, moderately throwing confetti. The bride does not enjoy even this, gurns uncomfortably and wipes it off her dress while half smiling at these well-wishers. Summers waves merrily to those around him as they process down the path. He shouts hello to his best man, waving even harder, and Jocelyn responds with a smiling shout above the knot of people and a wave. Summers' new wife tugs on his arm and reproves him for his indecent exhibition. She looks around furtively. Jocelyn looks ruefully after the departing pair as the rest of the congregation follow them down the path. The back kitchen of Jocelyn's house. It is daytime. The boot boy, of around 16 years old, is cleaning boots on the rag on his knee while he squats on his stool. Avis too is sitting at the table sewing next to a small pile of tea towels.
You know, he's not bad for a boss.
Why?
Well, you know, he lets you have lots of time off and stuff.
Oh well, that's good.
I reckon as how he's soft in the head though.
Why?
Well, anyone could run rings round him.
Well, just because he's a kind employer, there's nobody to take advantage of him. Or to be rude either.
Nah. It's just he's one of them bohemian people as thinks they're really one of us, when they're not.
Avis stands up.
Well, he is one of us, on Slingers. You're being horrid just 'cause he's nice to you.
She stalks out, and the boot boy gurns at her, departing back. It's a sunny glade in the countryside near London. It's daytime. Jocelyn is reclining, and Avis is sitting on a rug with a tablecloth spread out before them with champagne, pies, fruit, cheese, tomatoes, bread and chicken legs on it. There's a basket nearby. Avis is nibbling a couple of grapes, and Jocelyn is pouring another glass of wine for her. Avis looks like a pre-Raphaelite painting with the sun catching her auburn hair. Jocelyn is by now totally in love with her, and Avis has come to like him.
I never had champagne before. It's nice. But it's not as nice lemonade, though.
Jocelyn laughs.
Then next time, fair Avis, it shall be lemonade. Your word is my command.
Avis takes the glass and sips it.
Mrs. Careful was all in a dander when she found out about the picnic was for me. I thought as how she was going to ballyrag me.
The picnic was for me, and I believe that I am entirely free to choose my own guests, regardless of what my housekeeper may think of them, or me.
He smiles, sips his wine, and looks steadily at her with loving eyes.
You don't regret accepting my invitation, do you, my little Avis?
Avis smiles shyly and looks away a bit.
No.
She then looks back.
Actually, I really like it. I love picnics. I mean, I enjoy the company too.
Jocelyn smiles, raises his glass and toasts her.
Well, thank you, madam.
Avis gives him a sweet smile and then looks embarrassedly away again. The studio of Jocelyn's house. It is daytime. Jocelyn is sculpting a small piece and Avis is dusting.
Could I have that bank holiday weeking off in a couple of weeks, Jocelyn? I thought I'd drop down and see me ma'am.
Who is your mother, Avis?
Oh, she's Mrs. Weston. Avis. Just like me.
Weston?
His mouth drops open in consternation.
Mrs. Avis Weston, who married the fisherman?
Yeah, and I'm Avis Weston too.
Jocelyn looks horrifiedly away.
Oh, good grief.
Avis stops dusting and picks up her other feather duster, preparatory to leaving.
Is there a problem, Jocelyn? Do you know her?
No problem. Yes, I know her a bit. Sort of.
He turns hurriedly back to the statue and resumes chipping with a rueful rictus. Avis shrugs happily and goes out. The drawing room of Mrs. Summers' house. It's daytime. Summers is sprawled on a sofa in a magnificently huge drawing room which is heavily gilded and has cold white walls. There's a tray on a table near to him with a decanter containing claret, of which he and his friend Jocelyn have a glass. Jocelyn is sitting in a vast, throne-like, heavily gilded armchair, and a powdered footman is just leaving them.
You know, I really could get to like this life.
Jocelyn smiles.
Well, it's yours now, so you can enjoy it. And I hope that you do, old man.
He toasts his friend with his raised glass. Summers then takes a sip of his own.
Thanks, Pierston. Look, are you really serious about this proposal?
Yes. I have the ring and intend to propose as soon as possible.
Summers leans further back and laughs.
I mean, really? Marrying this fishwife's daughter for her beauty only? How can you take her out into society? What would she talk about with your friends?
Jocelyn smiles and shrugs.
Oh, bloaters, smokies, definitely kippers, and probably...
Summers sits up, still with one leg on the silk sofa. He gestures around himself.
Look, Jocelyn, you could have all of this, servants and your leisure time. I'm king of all I survey.
Summers' new wife, in her unflattering déshabille, which frighteningly exhibits her advancing age and ugliness, walks rapidly through the salon.
Get your feet off that sofa. It's silk, and if it were £5 a yard, it were.
Summers suddenly yelps as he hadn't noticed her.
Oh.
He quickly removes the offending foot.
Yeah, yes, dear.
And you should be getting ready. We're going to that frog ambassador's tea in half an hour.
She nods briefly and coldly to Jocelyn and stalks on through. Jocelyn stands up and takes his hat.
Well, I'll just be getting back to my fish then.
Summers gives a look of forlorn reproachfulness to Jocelyn, who pats his shoulder consolingly and retires. It's Hampstead Heath and it's daytime. Jocelyn and Avis too are walking along a rather deserted track and talking.
So, do you like London, Avis?
Oh, yes. It's huge.
Should you like to stay here? And in style?
Avis frowns.
What style?
Jocelyn peeps shyly at her sideways.
In the style of my wife, my love?
Avis comes to an abrupt stop.
Marry you?
Is that a terrible thought?
No. Oh, no. You're handsome, gentlemanly and all. It's just that my mind changes so.
What? Often?
Avis laughs and resumes walking with Jocelyn.
I know you'll laugh, but what I see in one man often goes out of him and then I see it in another. It's like I'm always changing and can't fix my desire, like.
Jocelyn pulls out his box with a ring. He opens it and offers it to her. They stop again.
Then desire me, my love. Desire me because you are my only beloved, and I desire you above all else.
Avis looks up shyly at him.
I do love you a bit, Jocelyn, and maybe I will come to love you more in time. But is that enough for you?
Yes. Yes. So you will be my wife, my well-beloved?
She shyly shrugs.
Yes, if you want me to. Yes.
He crushes her in a kiss and then represents the ring, which she takes and puts on her finger. She smiles up at him again.
Now I'm yours.
He gently kisses her again.
You are indeed mine.
He takes her hand and they resume walking.
Now, you stay here in London, and I shall just pop down to ask your parents' permission, as you're under 25, my love. I'm sure they'll say yes, though.
She smiles uncertainly and nods conditionally. A railway station in London. It's daytime. Jocelyn mounts the train, carrying a hold-all and wearing his bohemian wear of soft collar, no tie, low soft hat, etc. He hurries away. Jocelyn's house on the Isle of Slingers. It's daytime. Jocelyn leaps out of the cart and asks the driver to wait. He vanishes into the house with his hold-all. Jocelyn re-emerges in sombre formal costume and gets back still with the bag into the cart to take him to Easton. Avis Weston's house. Evening. The kitchen living room door to the outside is opened by Avis 1, who looks coldly at him. Jocelyn smiles embarrassedly and tips his hat.
Hello, Avis. Could I possibly have a word? It's, me. Jocelyn.
I know who you are. A word about what?
She opens the door and lets him in, but doesn't invite him to sit. Avis remains standing with crossed arms, so he removes his hat and comes in.
I never really apologised.
Cut it, Jocelyn. You never apologised before. Why bother now? I take it you want a favour. What is it?
Jocelyn twirls his hat nervously around in his hand.
I was wondering if you would give your consent to my marrying your daughter.
Avis stares hostilely at him.
Don't you think it might look bad you're trying it on with the mother, jilting her and then changing for the daughter?
No. It wasn't like that. I didn't know that she was your...
Avis waves him away.
Her father has been missing for all day and night out at sea. Send her back immediately, will you?
Missing? Oh, I'm so sorry. Yes, I will, immediately. I won't send a telegram, but I'll return and tell her myself.
He starts to turn.
And Jocelyn?
Yes?
It's a no.
No?
Yes.
Yes?
Avis freezes her face.
No.
She chivies him out and slams the door. A train station in London. Jocelyn depressedly gets back on the train. Jocelyn's London house, the hallway. It's daytime. The front door is open and the cab is waiting outside with the driver. Avis, dressed for the outdoors, is taking her hold-all out of Jocelyn's hand.
Well, just let me come to the train with you.
No, there's no point. I'll write when I know something.
Jocelyn goes to kiss her, but she turns her head aside and rushes outside. Jocelyn follows her to help her mount, but she springs into the cab and gestures to the driver. The cab races away and Jocelyn is left looking on with his hand half raised. Outside of the church, in a graveyard, it's daytime. Avis and her mother come away from the grave as the sexton starts filling it in. Both women are weeping and are followed by all of the community of fisherfolk as they walk away down the path. The bell tolls mournfully and the seagulls wheel overhead. Avis II's bedroom in Avis's house. It's night time. Avis, in her weeds, is writing a letter. She is crying and dripping on the letter. She reads what she's written.
Dear Jocelyn, it was very kind of you to propose to me, and I did appreciate it. But you didn't tell me you were the man who treated my mother so badly. You were the man who jilted her and nearly broke her heart. How could you? I'm sorry, but I don't trust you not to break mine as well. So I'm not angry with my mother, who has anyway refused her permission to our marriage. I remain always, however, your faithful servant, Avis Weston.
She puts her head on her hands and sobs loudly. It is the studio of Jocelyn's house. It's daytime. Jocelyn paces up and down sombrely with the letter in his hand. He looks at it yet again and then puts it sadly down on the table nearby. He removes a covering sheet from a block of stone, which has been begun as a statue. He sighs and looks at it hopelessly, and then sadly replaces the sheet. Jocelyn resumes his pacing up and down the studio. The study of Mr. Summers' house. It's daytime. Jocelyn is sadly sitting sipping port, and Summers is sitting nervously on the edge of his sofa. Summers looks haggard, with circles under his eyes. There is the sound of a lusty baby squalling from a distance.
She managed the birth. She had thought she was past it, and so did I.
Was it bad?
Bad enough. It's absolutely exhausted her, and hasn't exactly improved her temper. She blames me.
What for?
Everything. And how do you stop babies crying? We have 3 nursemaids, but I haven't slept for a week.
A girl, you said?
Hyacinth wants to call her Amarintha. Me? I can't be bothered to argue her out of it. I wouldn't even dare try.
Well, at least you have your family started.
Sorry, old fellow. How did your proposing go?
Avis turned out to be Avis Weston's daughter, so it was a no.
From Avis?
And Avis.
Oh, bad luck, old boy. Bad luck.
He pours out some more wine into Jocelyn's glass.
Here, have some more.
There is an exceptionally loud baby squall, followed by a screech from Mrs. Summers.
Sorry, Pierston. Duty calls.
Summers leaps to his feet, puts his glass down, and starts to race away. He gurns apologetically and hurries out. Jocelyn sighs. The drawing room of Mrs. Summers' house. It is daytime. A montage. There's the sound of baby squall, and Summers, looking a bit older, leaps off the sofa and rushes away, while Jocelyn, now late 40s, drinks his wine. There's a photograph on the nearby table of Summers standing with his wife, a little girl and a bundle of a baby. Mrs. Summers disapprovingly pours tea for Jocelyn and her husband. They are now in their early 50s. One of the many family photos nearby on the table has her and Summers with 4 girls between 4 and 10 years old. Jocelyn and Summers, now 62, are eating cake and drinking tea on the sofa. And there's the loud girlish laughter and shrieking of young women as they try on hats in the next room. Summers puts his hand up to his ears as he can't hear what Jocelyn is saying, and Jocelyn attempts laughingly to shout over the din. The studio of Jocelyn's London house. It is daytime. Jocelyn is chipping away at a small statue on a plinth. Summers strolls in, walks up to Jocelyn, and pokes his nose closely at the statue.
So what was it that was so important for you to say to me then, eh?
Jocelyn looks up.
Hello, old man.
He nods in the direction of a tray of drinks.
Go on. Pour us drinks. I want to propose a toast to my retirement.
What? You're giving up sculpting and stuff?
You did.
Yes, but you're good at it.
Summers goes over and pours out some claret from the decanter. He returns and gives Jocelyn a glass too. Jocelyn holds up his glass.
To a life on Slingers.
Slingers? You're going... But where will I hide when pressed by family affairs?
You can come and visit me.
They'll all want to come down as well. And paddle.
You'll enjoy that. And it's no good pretending. You love your 4 little maids.
I do. It's just their mama who's the, challenge.
They both raise their glasses in a toast.
That was an episode of The Well Beloved. I would like to thank our editor, Liam McArthur, for his fabulous skill and ear for detail, and also saintly patience. I'd also like to thank our amazing cast, Alban O'Brien, Peter Allison, Scott Munrow, Annalina Gaggiano, Caro Joy, Olivia Watson, Robin Lee, Izzy Joy, James Heseltine, John Simpson, Catherine Dyer, Mark Joy, Tony Lee, and John Seal. You can find us on YouTube under Rose Goldthorpe Films. We are on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and theoretically we should be on Apple Podcasts, but... honestly, at this point, I don't know. Do tell me if you find out. The Thomas Hardy Society website, of course, and our website, which has been renamed to the Wessex Dramas, just for those of you folks that can't spell Daily Dilettante, like me, cough. The Wessex Dramas website. If you want more updates on what's going on, follow Rose Goldthorpe on Instagram and Facebook, or sign up for our newsletter. Again, there's a newsletter from Rose Goldthorpe Films or the Wessex Dramas. They're slightly different for each, I think. Anyway, thank you again so much for all of your hard work, support, and kindness. See you next episode.